Duncan, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think you are?
A 6.
I think you're a 3. Since I've been dating your mom, I don't see you putting yourself out there, bud. You can try to get that score up at my beach house this summer.
Who is this in all his awkward glory?
This is my son, Duncan.
I was going to name my youngest Duncan, but we went with Peter. Finally, fixed his lazy eye, now it's even worse. Boop, boop.
Mom.
Just stare at the bridge of his nose, that's what I do.
You're the worst parent.
There's a message in the skies and in the streets.
Heads up, buddy. You need to wear that.
Mom, why do I have to wear this? Nobody else does.
Sexier, huh?
Something like that.
It's like spring break for adults.
Way back. Yeah, that's where this movie should have been on the shelf, because it's really shitty.
Oh yeah. LOL.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
That was a funny joke, Arcano.
Shut the hell up.
That was a Jeff level joke
Yeah.
there.
Well, I couldn't think of an intro for this, and that doesn't even make sense because I like this movie.
Yeah.
I think we all did, actually.
It was a very, very good movie. I would very much agree. I think it was really awesome.
At the mic, we got Arcano, your host as always. To the right of me, I got Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And to the left of me, we still got a secret guest that we ain't going to reveal for a while. But say hi.
Hello there.
Sean Connery.
So anyway, we saw the way back. It's going to be an early review. It doesn't come out till July, if I'm correct, right?
July 5th.
There we go. And this movie is one of those, like, little cute indie comedy dramedies type films. Well, more of a comedy than a drama. But
Yeah,
it does
more of a
have
comedy.
it does get
Comedy.
pretty.
I'd say dramedy is a fair assessment of the film.
But it's more on the comedy side.
Yeah,
I
there's a
would
lot of...
say, if anything, it's a drama with comedic tendencies.
There we go. The movie deals with where the hell is he? Oh. This kid named Duncan, played by Liam James, who is on his way to a summer vacation town with
Steve
his
Carell.
family, his mom and his mom's boyfriend, played by Steve Carell. His mom's played by Toni Collette.
Good God, is Steve Carell the giant jackass of the year?
He's a dick in this movie.
Yeah, the movie opens up with him asking Duncan, like, "Hey, would you rate yourself, like, out of 1 to 10?" Duncan not knowing how to answer, Steve Carell's just like, "I'd say you're a 3. But we're going to work on making you know, not a 3. But, like, just straight up calls this kid, like, yeah, you're not even average.
And Steve Carell is so good at playing a dick in this movie, though.
Yeah, it's a big change of his usual character. I mean, he plays an asshole on The Office, but it's that, like, lovable kind of asshole.
Yeah.
Here, he's just like, wow, you are a fucking asshole, and I hope something bad happens to you.
Yeah.
He's the kind of individual that you'd see in a relationship that you're like, why is this person with this person? I don't understand how you could be so cruel to those that, you know, are relate. Like, for instance, he's going out with this woman, and Duncan is this boy who's this woman's child, and he's just an asshole to him because, you know, as you see throughout later in the movie, he's got his own problems, so the only person he can really pick on is poor Duncan. Mm-hmm. And he tries to manipulate his mother, Pam, into, you know, trying to stick with him despite being this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Steve Carell has his own daughter who is a superficial, shallow, just annoying teenage daughter. It's not a very good side of the family then.
She's such a bitch.
Yeah.
She really is. I mean, I know you're trying to, like, try and keep away from the word, but
Yeah.
no, she's a bitch. But that aside, the way Duncan is able to kind of escape this is running into Sam Rockwell at a pizza joint.
Yay,
Correct, right?
Sam Rockwell.
And
Yes.
we're all big fans of Sam Rockwell here, me especially. I mean, I'm the type of guy who will go see a movie just because Sam Rockwell's in it. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
And here plays this, like, I don't even know how to describe him. The guys who made this movie described him as Bill Murray in Meatballs, and not having seen Meatballs.
I haven't seen Meatballs.
He kind of did remind me of, like, a Bill Murray-ish character. You know,
Oh, yeah.
always having fun, always making a joke out of the
Always has a
situation, no
joke
matter what's
for
going on.
something, yeah.
But it's not like, dude, you know what? This is serious shit. You gotta, like, get real. It's more like, no, we're all having fun here, and you're making this boring job pretty fun too.
Yeah.
If anything, I would say that he's kind of relatable to a lot of Robert Downey Jr.'s roles in movies, where he's this lovable kind of jackass that screws up things on his own. He's in charge of a lot of stuff, but he's at the same time a good-natured individual, and he's very much a counter to Steve Carell's character.
Yeah, and if he ever screws something up, he'll fix it right away in his own fun, possibly irresponsible way.
When shit goes down, he gets serious, but he's a lovable guy, so he doesn't get he keeps it light.
Yeah,
he keeps the movie very light at times.
So the rest of the movie is just Duncan trying to, in a way, I guess, find himself and start to change his attitude that life isn't all bad and not everyone hates me. That there is some good out there.
Well, then he
go
also
see the movie. Obviously, we're not going to. I'd explain the whole plot.
There's so much I wish to tell because it's just
there's also should we reveal there's also the relationship he has with the neighbor's daughter.
Oh well, that's a part of it. You know what? Honestly, I think that was kind of a smaller piece of the story.
Not as big as Sam Rockwell, but it's another part where Steve Carell is such a dick that he doesn't really. She's his own age, and she's kind of the one that he can also relate to. Yeah,
and she's also trying to help him out while everyone else is just a superficial asshole.
Yeah.
And I mean, almost everyone else. They just care about themselves, and they don't even give a shit.
As the daughter says, this place is like spring break for parents.
Yeah, and you constantly see, despite the fact that Duncan's mother really wishes to try and do things with him and try and involve him in the family and trying to connect him with her boyfriend. She's constantly doing things with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friends. Are going off and doing their own thing. And
as much as she's trying to bring Duncan into the scene, she's also just leaving every now and then, and just goes off into her own world.
And one of the parents there is played by Rob Corddry, who I just want to point out because I'm a big fan of Rob Corddry.
Yeah,
the Time Machine. Woo.
He's pretty good, but he's also a kind of smaller role.
Fucking sucks.
You don't like him?
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. But let's get into the good, because there's plenty of that.
Yes. Duncan Jones does an amazing job.
Duncan Jones is the director of Moon.
And just about he runs this
Liam James. Duncan's the character name.
Good God.
Duncan Jones.
Duncan Jones is not a part of this film.
Man, if he was, though, that would be awesome.
Sam Rockwell. That's what I meant to say. Sam Rockwell. Yeah, he runs a water park, and just about every character that's a part of the water park staff is a really lovable character. It really is made to be a place that Duncan can go to and feel to be a better person. It's just a place that welcomes him, and that all the characters in there do a great job. Everyone does a good job in the movie playing the role that they play, even if they are playing. A character like Steve Carell's character, Trent.
Yeah, Steve Carell does a really good job at playing an asshole. He's an asshole and you hate him, but he's a really fucking good actor at doing this. He's wow, I never thought I would see him in a role like this, and he's fucking nailing it.
You know who also does a really good job is they have this one neighbor who's who's this just crazy woman who's very kind of what's the word, impulsive, but she's also she self-invites herself to these events, and she has
we're here to move on with it and deal with it.
She's one of those who's she's not afraid to say something that might make you feel bad, but she'll try to make you feel better right away. Especially with her son, who she's always picking on him because of his cross eye. But then she's hugging him and such.
She's an alcoholic. Where's the next party, guys?
Yeah. Her name is Betty, played by
Allison Janney.
Allison Janney. I was looking for her name.
From Juno.
Yeah, you'll recognize her as the mom from Juno. She was also in Away We Go, that movie with John Krasinski and Maya Rudolph.
Oh, speaking of Maya Rudolph,
she has a good job too, playing the love interest for Sam Rockwell. But yeah, all the characters are written very well, and they're acted really well, including the Film Zone creators, Jim Rash and Nat. Is it Nat Faxon?
Yes.
Yeah. Jim Rash and Nat Faxon, who you'll know them from writing
The Descendants.
The Descendants.
Also, Jim Rash is the dean on Community. Pop, pop.
Mm-hmm. Another good thing I like about this is the way it's directed. It's actually pretty good. All the the structure of the film, it's kind of like, okay, now we're going to go into like a montage sort of, and now we're going to get into the like big conflict of the film. But it never feels awkward and it never feels out of place. Everything feels very natural.
It never feels like you would feel in other movies like, oh god, another fucking montage.
Yeah, it also doesn't feel like
Spring Breakers.
It doesn't feel like they're doing it just to in the lazy kind of way, like, oh well, we just gotta get this out of the way.
Indeed, there's a couple of confrontation scenes you see, and they're intense in their own right, but they're not overpowering, nor are they unnecessary.
Yeah, there's no swelling music playing that gets you like, aren't you gonna cry right now? There's no really,
which is good.
Not really melodramatic.
Yeah.
And one of my like first complaints after seeing this is the fact that I thought some conflict should have ended a different way. But then, like, thinking about it again, it's like, no, you know what? It went very natural to the film itself, and this is probably how it would end in real life, as our friend here mentioned.
Yes. I had this
it's very realistic.
That it was very, to me, I felt a little relation to some of the characters, and specifically the main character. You have these events that play into your life in a very certain kind of way, and they're not very, cinematic or theatrical, where there's a structure to it, and it's, a lot of things are kind of left unsaid where you want them to be said, because I'm sure we all have those moments where, like, I wish I could have said this at this moment, and but you're already on your way home, and you see that in the movie. There's points where they could have said this, or they could have done that, and then it doesn't happen because just of the way things turn out. And there's even a scene that involves Duncan where you're like, why did he do that, or why didn't it work out for him this way? And you're like, well, that's probably how it would have happened in real life.
Yeah.
And like The Descendants, there's not really a lot of cliches in the movie, because both movies are like, well, I'm sure it's going to go this route, and it's, oh, well, that's surprising. You know, like, both movies never really had that moment where you go, oh, come on, guys, that's so cliched. Like, every character had its own little distinctive moment.
Yeah, there were all these moments where I thought it's going to head in this direction, and it totally did the opposite of that. Especially the last part of the movie, like the ending, I thought it was going to go a different way, and it did something pretty surprising, which I really liked.
I was kind of getting freaked out, like, near the end, I was like, oh, they better not end it like this.
Yeah,
they better not end this like this.
I thought there was something going to be a bit of a throwdown between those two characters.
Yeah,
and it didn't. It actually, again, it.
Well, I'm talking about, like, even before that, like, I don't want to say it, but like even before that, where I'm like, okay, the music's playing right now. Shit, this better not say directed by Jim Rash Netflix and right now.
Just end right now.
Yeah.
No, it's I gotta say they did a good job with it, and I really hope. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, I really hope that, Not Faction and Jim Rash have continued to write movies in this kind of style. Like, I think they do a really good job. And it's something to definitely check out when you get the chance.
Absolutely.
They're really good, because the key word for this movie is natural. Like, it really does feel, a lot of it actually feels like ad-libbed, but it was all written. It's all comes from a script, so they're really good at writing human-sounding conversations. You know, it doesn't feel like they're reading a script. It feels like this is how people talk.
It doesn't feel like one of those indie comedies where, like, it sounds like they're trying to be too clever with their dialogue.
Yeah, this isn't Juno or
a Wes Anderson film.
Young adults, get the fuck out of here. We ain't talking about that shit right now.
Hey.
All right.
Save that for the long form podcast.
And for the record, I like Juno a lot. So
I like Juno a lot too,
Juno
but
is a
still,
good film.
I don't. I don't think kids talk like that at all.
No, not at all. But
and I'm not saying like, oh well, all kids are dumb. Like, no, I like to say I'm a smart kid myself, and we know a lot of smart people who have that kind of like vocabulary. But still, it's like, okay, you're talking like you're 40 years old.
Kind of like Bob Leach on The Simpsons at times. They're talking to Homer and Marge, and it's like they're far smarter beyond their years.
But going back to the actors really quick, in the scenes where it does get like kind of heavy, Toni Collette, she does a fucking fantastic job at bringing out these emotions.
She plays the mother.
Whether it's like a little outburst or just breaking down completely, she does a really, really good job, and she like really impressed me. You know, you'll know her from
Sixth Sense,
About a Boy,
Sixth Sense,
Little
Miss Sunshine, which also starred Steve Carell in one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
I'm sure if you're a person who's experienced life and you've seen people like her, you'll be like, you know what? I'm surprised at how real her role is. Her reactions to situations aren't necessarily like so over the top where it's like, oh, I'm going to totally throw out against this scene, or it's like, oh, I'm totally going to overcome this situation in superhero fashion. It's she very much. I know we keep saying it, but she has so much of a human reaction. She's overwhelmed, but in a way that seems like, oh, wow.
And on that note, Liam James, who plays Duncan, the lead character, he also, when it's his turn to get all heavy, he does a really great job too.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't quite get to that level where he's like breaking down or like, you know, it's just like somewhere right in the middle where it feels like perfect and I hate to keep bringing this up, completely natural.
Yes, there's a scene where he's in a confrontation and he gets fed up with the situation because it kind of occurs a lot, but
he's still trying to kind of keep his cool in a way.
Yeah, you can tell he's on the verge. He's on that point where his voice is shaky and he might have a little bit of tearing up in his eyes, and he's almost ready to kind of back away, but he sticks with the situation because he's just so angry at it.
Yeah. He did an amazing job. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say about the movie in general. Like, it's just. It's a movie that kind of makes you, and maybe put a smile on my face at the end, because seeing this guy's transformation, Duncan, from like, at the beginning, he's just such a introverted, like,
we'll get
awkward guy, and the way he, like, changes throughout the movie is just, it puts a smile on your face. I really, really like this movie.
Yeah. Now, to the, I don't really want to say bad things about the movie, because honestly, the movie itself didn't have much problems. I mean, you could get into it and talk about like, oh, maybe the editing or something like that, but I didn't have any problems with that. My problems with the film came from like really, like problems that I had because of me, not because of the film itself. For instance, as I mentioned earlier, I kind of didn't like how certain conflicts ended up, but then thinking about it after a while, it's like, okay, you know what? This feels like this is how it would have ended in real life.
Yeah.
And my problem for a little bit was actually the lead character, Duncan, for a while, who I thought was so introverted, where it's like someone's trying to have a conversation with him, and he's just not even responding. Like, you gotta say something.
Oh, that's what I loved about
But then, like,
though.
but then thinking about it again, it's like, okay, after seeing what this kid has been going through, it's like, maybe it does. It does make sense.
I just like to picture like him watching Drive over and over again. Like, Ryan Gosling is cool. He's silent. I will become Ryan Gosling. Just stare at them.
Just this guy. Well, that's not the thing. Is he doesn't even stare at them sometimes. Sometimes he's just looking at the ground. Like,
he's just like, you know. Well, they can't see on this audio podcast, so I will stop.
It's funny. I would have to say that there's a point in my life where I was actually kind of like that, and I thought that was what was so brilliant about his performance is that he maintained this, you know, very nerdy, very introverted, very awkward, and not even like TV or movie awkward. Very like the person, you know, that guy you know who just kind of is there, and you're like, please go home, Frank. You're making this awkward for all of us.
Yeah, like the first. Oh man. The first.
What the hell was that? It's like you added a noise to your cough that's not actually a part of people coughing.
That's how I cough, man. Achoo!
Alright, we go.
I cough like I sneeze, and I sneeze like I cough.
There's a shitty joke, Jeff.
But yeah, the first conversation that he has with the neighbor's daughter, is just
could have gone a different way.
Huh?
I thought it could have gone a different way, but it's his character. It's how he's written.
Yeah, it's kind of cringe-inducing, but
yes. Yeah. You know what? You know what makes me think of? Makes me think of Malcolm in the Middle. There's points where it's embarrassing.
Yeah, a little bit.
and you don't want to watch it. But if you stick with it, it's worth it in the end.
See, I was thinking in-betweeners.
was the fucking guy in the audience.
Oh, God. All right, just a little bit of a tidbit. It's a pre-screening we're going to, correct?
Yeah.
And we're waiting in line, and some jackass is standing next to us, being the awkward basement-dwelling weirdo that he was. He's basically like that kid from the Christmas story.
Yeah.
I like the Tin Man. I like the Wizard of Oz.
Are you gonna see Santa?
What are you guys here for? Oh, we have a podcast. Oh, well, what's it called? Four Eyes Filmcast. Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
The Four Eyes Film Club.
Go fuck yourself too, buddy. So what do you do on the Four Eyes Film Club? I swear, the son of a bitch had Asperger's. Nothing against people who have Asperger's, but it doesn't seem like the kind of individual who's like, I'm going to try and make an attempt at communicating with people, and it's going to be a little bit awkward because I don't know totally how to socialize, and they're going to probably have pity on me and be really nice. No, this guy's a dick. Kind of weirdo who just ostracizes himself from society based on his interpretations of what's going on, and
You heard it here. We don't mind people with Asperger's as long as you're not an asshole. Assholesbergs.
Yeah, he had asshole burgers. He had a bag of Burger King, and it was full of asshole burgers.
But back to the film. I couldn't really find any real complaints about this. It felt like an 80s movie at some times, but you know what? That's what they were going for. This was actually supposed to be a period piece. But given the budget, this is a very indie film. They couldn't make it like that. But they still kind of made it feel like a 80s period piece. I'm not sure if you got that vibe, too.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was set in the 80s until someone pulled out a cell phone. Like, oh.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, I noticed right away. I thought, oh, it's just going to be old-fashioned. And then
like Adventure
in the very, very beginning, when Steve Carell is trying to talk to...
Oh, he's listening to an iPod.
Yeah, he pulls out his headphones and
Yeah.
earbuds, and you're like, oh, that's new.
so you can time travel.
Exactly.
Jeff, don't bring up that movie.
What movie?
I know where you're going.
I don't know. I just said time travel. Looper?
No. That wasn't sad. Oh, wait, yeah, it was. All right. Well, I guess we should just get into the actual ratings for this film. Because
Yes.
we've said all that we can say without giving away more.
Indeed.
And
There's really nothing bad to say. It's very good. You should definitely see it.
It's another coming-of-age story, but it's one that's charming enough and unique enough in the writing that it sets it apart from different coming-of-age stories.
I will say...
And it's definitely worth seeing.
I will say at the beginning I wasn't laughing as much as I was later on in the film.
I didn't think I was supposed to laugh.
Oh,
there
really?
were some scenes where like people were cracking up. It's like, this is kind of sad, guys. Like, what are you?
Oh, okay.
Are you supposed to be?
Maybe that's the vibe I get. Because, yeah, especially with the first time with Allison Janney's character comes on, I was like, yeah, this is amusing, but I never like, ha 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 ha, like Sam Rockwell later on in the film. But
Right.
eventually, yeah, I
But
was
even
laughing.
her, it's not like hearty laughs. It's like little chuckles. And
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But eventually I was laughing throughout the film.
Yeah.
Alright. So anyways, our ratings.
Yeah. As I mentioned, definitely worth seeing. Very unique, very charming, and it's gonna leave you feeling good after you go see it.
Absolutely.
I without any complaints about this, I give this 4 out of 4 eyes. I definitely can't wait to see it again when it actually comes out, and all of you should too.
Mm-hmm.
4 out of 4 eyes for Sean Connery.
Yeah, 4 out of 4 for me also. I love this movie. I can't wait to see it again. I really, really, really liked it a lot. It was really funny. It was really charming in a really naturalistic and non-melodramatic or tugging at the heartstrings in a manipulative way. It elicited those responses naturally and in a good way on its own, writing. And I thought the performances were great. Steve Carell and Sam Rockwell, obviously, for me, are the standouts. Because Michael Scott is a good thing to bring up. Because, yeah, Michael Scott, he's an asshole, but there are points where you feel like sympathy for him. This guy, fuck him.
No, not necessarily. There's some points you do feel a little bit, but mostly it's an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
No, well, yeah, okay, you kind of feel sympathetic for him at some points, but I was thinking more like, you know what, the problems he's going through are his own problems that he's fucked up. So you know what? Still fuck this guy. I don't like him. But yeah, your rating?
It was 4 out of 4. I love this movie. Go see it. Absolutely.
So what are you gonna do this summer, Jeff?
Maybe
Fuck
go to a
bitches,
water
get
park,
money.
meet a cute blonde girl, hang out with Sam Rockwell. It's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna happen.
Yep. Spring break.
You got a hell of a kid here.
Hold, please.
Hold. Just hold there.